As a small biz pro, I saw we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, I saw we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah. Crystal Mitchell, do you have my
Good
business
afternoon,
plan?
everyone. This is the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. And today, Crystal, we got a great show.
We have a great show, like we always have a great show.
Got an excellent show as usual. Every week we try to outdo the last.
And it's just been, and to bring a little relief to our audience, to our small business owners, because, you know, as you listen to the news every day, you think, in fact, I was telling my sister the other day, it's probably a good idea for everybody to get their passports together, just in case that you might have to make a little trip over to Canada and hang out there for the duration, because it's a little crazy here in our town.
You're going to have to hang out until, what, January 2019?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Until after the impeachment?
So Justin said we can come. He said we come there. And actually, there are a number of those S-hole countries in the continent of Africa that we can come there, too. Well, and I bet you they're going to really open up the doors for us now.
I'm from one of those S-hole countries, too, so... I don't know. But for those of you who are just tuning in, you're on the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. And if you don't know what the Business Zone is all about, the Business Zone is a business diversity show for where entrepreneurship, small businesses, and supply diversity comes together to provide opportunities for small businesses. Crystal and I, we've been in the business for a long time, and we've been working with small businesses to get you ready, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. That's what this platform is all about. So if you're out there listening and you'd like to tune in and join the conversation, I would like you to give us a call at 323-293-3375. That's 323-293-3375.
Yeah, so this has been an interesting week.
Yes.
It's been a wild ride as usual. Yesterday I was just in a flux. It was just too much because Monday and Wednesday I was at not Mount Sac, I'm at the Gain office teaching QuickBooks, and so yesterday was my first day really just kind of tuning into the news and catching up, and it was a wild news day yesterday.
Oh my son!
So pretty interesting stuff going on. I don't know how we're going to get through next 3 years. I truly don't. I don't even think we can.
Well, we won't.
And some of it spills over because it just has to. It's just too crazy, especially. But what I am thrilled with, my mother used to say this. She was from Alabama. Mm-hmm. And George Wallace was the governor there. Mm-hmm. And the one thing that they said in Alabama was they never had to guess what George Wallace's sentiments were. Mm-hmm. He made it very, very clear.
They already knew.
So now the gloves are off. Mm-hmm. And anybody that's supporting Trump and trying to make excuses for Trump, in my book, they just as racist as he is. So they didn't taking their gloves off. So it's better to know who under the hood than for them to be under the hood and come after you. That's how I feel about it. So now you know how to deal with it, right? I mean, I can deal with the fact that you're racist. Yeah. I'm good with that. But when you pretend that you're not, then I have a problem with that. So I think we probably think that's a bad thing. But then at the same time, it's a good thing.
Well, we'll observe it over the next few weeks and see what's going on and see how those comments are going to affect us small businesses as well. We already know how the tax law affected us.
Right.
So we want to see how these other activities are going to affect us as well.
Yeah, because as a small business owner, you actually are going to have, we had, Recycling Back Dollars had their breakfast mixer on Tuesday, and we had some tax experts that came out to speak. And basically, which is what I demise as well, if you are W-2 employee, then it's just going to be a straight postcard, go about your business, and no problem. But I find it insulting. So yesterday somebody was doing the numbers, and they were saying that basically you will probably see it in February. And guess how much they're going to see in February?
I don't know.
$20
What?
per pay period.
$20.
$20.
That's what the tax, what they call it, the tax.
That's the increase. That's that $900. $20.
Oh my Lord. That is ridiculous.
So if some other tax go up or
and that's really how it's structured. It's structured that seesaw structure.
Right.
So over here you may get some benefit over here, but over here they hit you like 15 times more. So you're not really getting anything; you're losing in essence.
And then so we're talking employees because that does not affect. That's not the same for a small business owner.
Right.
So now you work overtime.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know what happens to overtime. The more money you make, the more money they take out, right?
Yeah.
Or you get a bonus. The more money you make, the more they take out.
Right.
So you're gonna lose your $20 overall.
Right.
And I mean, I've been running Prevo for over 30 years,
Yes.
so I know what that looks like.
Wow.
So you really got to play around with the numbers in order to get. But $20,
Yeah, that's
per
ridiculous.
paycheck. So that's
ridiculous.
$40 a month. Really?
That is ridiculous. You know, we buy water from Costco's. You get those big plastic bottles, and then we store them. Once you use it up, you store those bottles.
Right.
So after a while, like at the end of the month, you've collected so many bottles that you can take it to that redemption place. And the amount of money you get is probably equivalent to $20.
Right.
So that's what this tax benefit that they're talking about.
So I find that insulting that I would be impressed by $20.
Yeah.
Really?
That's a few plastic bottles.
Right. I would not be impressed. And for people that bought into that, they're just stupid.
That's
because
ridiculous.
when you really calculate it and spread it out, now that's for them.
Yeah.
For small businesses, as Cosette said last week, that's going to be a little bit different. So you're going to have to do some very creative things in order to get a benefit, and you probably will pay more. I had a review with my client yesterday, and so I told her, I said, so I will have everything ready for you to go to your tax guy, because this is Jennifer, so she does everything right. So she pays her quarterlies on time, but that's based upon the other tax. So I told her, I said, you're going to have a sit down with him and make sure that what we're doing is going to work for you. And then I also looked at and said, now when we get your first contract, we need to get everybody over $250,000. So we actually, for her, we're not that far. So three contracts for her,
and
she'll be all right.
which brings me to my next point here, because they've got this lady, her name is Sherry Jackson, which I found on the internet. She is phenomenal. She's an ex-IRS agent. And she found out, she used to be one of those that, she audits you, shakes you down, make sure you cross all your T's, dot all your I's. Then one day she started realizing that, hey, this stuff is not right. What am I doing here? Where does it say we're supposed to pay taxes? It's not written anywhere. If you check all the Constitution and everything, there's nothing in there that says we're supposed to pay taxes.
No, it doesn't.
So then there's an organization called We the People, that they put a challenge out there, $50,000 challenge, that anyone who can find that written in the law anywhere, they'll get $50,000. No one can find it.
I actually, if I recall, I think Marcus DeGarvey back in the day had brought that up, and Malcolm X had brought that up. There's nowhere in the Constitution
nowhere is it written
that you paid taxes.
So that's what this lady is all about. So I'll give you a little background on her before we play her video. So she used to go around as an ex-IRS agent talking about, informing people about the tricks and trades in the IRS and how you can get by and don't do certain things. So, of course, the IRS is like the police, right? So anything you say about them, they can find a law that you broke. Right. Exactly. They can arrest you, right? Exactly. That's what they did to her. So they charge her with a misdemeanor.
And she was working for them?
She had left them at that point.
She probably should have stayed.
Well, if she had stayed, it would have been worse. Because then it would, conflict of interest and all of those things. But you know what a misdemeanor is, right? A misdemeanor means that the punishment for the crime you committed is going to be 12 months or less. 12 months or less, that's a misdemeanor. Anything above that is a felony, right? So they charge her with a misdemeanor, but they sent her to prison for 3 years. 3 years.
And no time served?
No time served. As a matter of fact, they make it so hard for her that she spent to the last day in prison. But the point I'm trying to make is she came out and she's stronger than before, right? Because she used to make six figure, doing her seminars and all of that. So she's got a video here, which we're going to show right now, which is showing you how you can take certain deduction in this 2017 tax program that they have that a lot of us don't think about. So, Laron, if you can play that video, she's phenomenal. Let's watch.
Okay.
Hi everybody, this is Sherry Peel Jackson in the jungle of Mexico. I told you all I was going to come with some more videos, and I'm going to try to do this more frequently. I'm going to give you a tip today that will save some of you about $5,000 on your taxes. I call it the Salvation Army Goodwill Goodie. This is what you do. If you file a Schedule A, that's the itemized deductions. So most people that have a mortgage and give a lot in tithes and offerings or whatever, they file the Schedule A. That's where you get to take your mortgage interest, your real estate taxes, and things like that. So that form gives you the chance to have more deductions. There's a line on that form that says cash contributions. That's where you give the money part of it. But there's also another line that says non-cash charitable contributions. Right below it, it says if you gave more than $500, fill out Form 8283. Most people that I talk to only put $500 there or less because they're afraid of Form 8283. Well, all Form 8283 is a form that says who did you give to, what did you give, and how much it was worth. Not a problem. Each year I give up to $10, $12, $15,000 on that line. How do I do that? Okay, so this is what you do if you want to take advantage of the non-cash charitable contributions. That's what wealthy people do all the time. They give stock that they paid. Let's say they paid $1 per share for stock and now it's worth $500. They'll give that stock away and they get to take the value, the current value of $500 of that stock. So this is what they do. This is how we're going to do it. You all have stuff to give away. At my house, I have what's called the Salvation Army closet. So anything that I don't want anymore, that's as far as clothes or any items, I put in the Salvation Army closet. So the Goodwill or the American Kidney Fund will call and they'll say, Miss Jackson, we'll have a truck in your area next week. Do you have anything to give? Well, I always say yes. Call me the night before so that I can remember. So they faithfully call the night before and say, Miss Jackson, we're coming tomorrow. I stop what I'm doing. I pull everything out of that closet and put it on the floor in the foyer. I take a picture of it with my cell phone, put the camera down, and write down each and every item that's on the floor, 5 pair of pants, 2 jackets, whatever. And then I put the list in the corner and I put the items in a bag and I put them on the front porch. They come and get them and always leave a receipt. So I have a receipt now. I have an itemized list of what I gave and I have a picture. Online, there's an area called the Salvation Army Thrift Store Value Guide. That's where the Salvation Army and other organizations have a thrift store value guide also. But I use the Salvation Army's thrift store value guide. It'll tell you how much stuff is worth, how much the thrift store value of things are worth. For example, if you have dresses, let's say suits, women's suits are worth between $6 and $25. Well, I can't tell you, young lady or older lady, that your suit is not worth $25. So if there are 4 suits on the floor in your foyer, that's a $100 write-off. So can you see now how easy it is to make a big black garbage bag worth $500? So I purpose to give 2 times a month. So at the end of the year, I have at least 24 receipts. I have the receipt, I have the itemized list because I wrote it down, and I have a picture. And I have the real thrift store value of what things are worth. So people say, well, Sherry, how can you give all that stuff? Think about this. You know people that don't file the itemized deductions. They take the standard deduction. Either single people or people that don't have a house, or even people that don't file anymore because they don't have a job or they retired. But they still have stuff. You can go get their stuff because it's a gift to you. So if Georgie has an item to give me, it's a gift to me. And whatever the thrift store value of that gift is to him, it's the same to me. So I go around town like the opposite of Santa Claus, picking up stuff. They don't even look for me to call them anymore. They just say, Sherry, come pick up the stuff. So that's extra stuff that I can get. Now, I got some more secrets to go with that, but you have to come to one of my workshops or be on one of my webinars to find that out. But can you see now how you can save at least $5,000 in taxes? And I'm talking about, the itemized deduction is not dollar for dollar, but if you got thousands of dollars on the Schedule A that you've given in non-cash charitable contributions, that will save you thousands of dollars in taxes. I know some people told me, oh, I'm so glad you told me this, because I have a garage full of stuff. A lot of you get rid of that stuff. Get rid of it. It's worth something. Dust it off, clean it off, and give it away to the Salvation Army, the Goodwill, the American Kidney Association, even the church. Our church has a clothing bank. So you can give it. Make sure you get your receipt from the organization. Make sure that it's a nonprofit organization. Make sure you have your pictures, because that's proof for you. If you get audited and the insidious representatives of Satan say, there's no way you gave away $12,000 worth of non-cash charitable contributions. Yes, you have your proof. You have your list, your itemized list, you have your picture, and you have your receipt, and you use the proper source for the value, which is the either one of the Salvation Army or Goodwill, their thrift store value guides. So guys, I'm getting ready to go to the pool now with my daughter, my granddaughter, and I hope that helps you. If you have any questions about that, go look it up. This is a valid deduction for you for your 2017 tax return. You still have a chance to save $5,000 on your 2017 tax return with this. And I'll come back maybe one more before I go back home with another area where you can save money on your 2017 taxes. Have a great one. Bye-bye.
So you have it. So now we're doing business like folks supposed to, with information.
That's what I'm saying. And what I love about this, the rich guys, they already know stuff like this.
Of course they do.
And they're doing this. They're capitalizing it. We don't know because we don't pay attention.
And I'm going to tell you how this is done. So every Christmas, my tennis club, we have a big holiday drill, fun day camp. Mm-hmm. So one of the attractions is that all of the people that are from the Calabasas tennis clubs and all the tennis clubs in that part of the world, they bring all of their old tennis clothes. They bring shoes. They bring clothes. So they just clean out. We literally have a full table, and it goes from it probably would be about 11 feet if we were standing it up. Mm-hmm. And they bring out boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes, and then we give it to the community. Right. And this has been happening. I've been around for 4 years, so this has been happening for 7 years. Wow. And so I'm sure they're doing the exact thing. Mm-hmm. So they have a good $10,000, $15,000 worth of, because a lot of it's tennis clothes. Yes. So that means we're spending $100, $200. That's tennis true. Shoes alone. Tennis court shoes cost anywhere from $125 to $175 if it's men. Mm-hmm. So there's one table that's nothing but shoes. Right. That's and amazing. Then there's clothes, and we're going from adults, mm-hmm. from extra large all the way down to children. Right. So yes, that's and this is a religion for them. Oh yes. So that's
this
exactly
is good information for our listeners out there to hear and see. And the one thing I like about what she said, she calls the IRS the insidious representative service. That is amazing. So I got some more videos on her, which we'll play from time to time.
That'll be fantastic, because the more information we have, the better choices we'll make. She's got
so much information.
I like
unbelievable.
That. That's fantastic. I love that.
Insidious representative.
But that's even the nature of me doing teaching at Mount at the county, right? County, yeah. Why? Because my experience, I'm passing on to them. Exactly. So then that makes them a better hire, right?
And that's what we're doing for small businesses mm-hmm. right now. We're trying to make sure we put forward some information that you can use this to build and develop your organization the right way. We want you to be functional and formal businesses. We don't want you to be informal. Because informal business, that means you operate out of a shoebox. Right, exactly. We don't want that. We want you to operate like a full-fledged a Fortune 500 business. Exactly. That's how we want you to do.
So Sherry, she was a thinking Negro.
Oh yeah.
So that's really why she spent 3 years in jail, because she was a thinking Negro.
Wait until you hear the other videos. I'm telling you, it's unbelievable.
Because they don't want you thinking.
No.
Yeah, you can't be thinking, man. That was one reason I left out of corporate America. It's like, oh, Lord, you got to follow suit and don't have an original idea.
Yeah, and think about it. All of the folks, all of us who are thinking, and we kind of, recognize we're awakened and we recognize what's going on. What do? Put us away. Put us away. Or they chump up some charges against us.
Or they go find another interesting coon-like folk and to corral you.
There you go.
I mean, that's the whole purpose.
Divide and conquer.
Yeah, divide and conquer and keep you under their control. Yes. I mean, when you start to think about it, Common Core for school. Yeah. I mean, to keep you from thinking. Our young people or our people today, not young and old, there are no critical thinking skills.
Right. Well, she has a video on there that says, no one teaches our kids about finances. No one does. They don't teach it in school. Why do you think they don't do that? They don't want us to be knowledgeable and be smart and understand what's going on.
Yeah. So the brown people that I teach in my classroom, so now I'm teaching them financial literacy. And how I do it is I teach them about business, but I correlate it with their own personal life. So their household is their company. Right. Your revenue is your job, your income that you're coming from. Your expenditures are your lights and gas and utilities and food.
Car payments,
all of that good stuff. Your loan. You don't own your home. So when they come out of there, they are going to be equipped with some information.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, because you got to teach us how to do that.
And that's what we got to do. We all got to go out there and teach.
Yeah.
Teach, and that's what we do. So
it's important because there is a conscious effort. If you're not thinking, then I can pull the wool over your eyes and you won't even see it coming.
So speaking of that, we've got our mastermind program that's going on right now, and our next class is going to be this coming Wednesday, which is January 17th from 4 to 6 at the Urban League. And this week our class is going to be on certification, how we're going to do hands-on, step-by-step process on how to become certified with the City of Los Angeles. We will do one certification with the city, and this will be the small and local business certification. It's a one-page application, and all you need to supply is two documents. Your business license with the City of Los Angeles and your tax return from last year, 2016. That's it. It's all you need to apply for this certification. We'll walk you through the class. We'll show you how that's going to be done. We're also going to go over a company profile form, teaching small businesses how to put their information on that, so you have your information at your fingertips.
Also, one of our students asked me a question. She was in the Cali Procure, and they asked for the taxes, but they asked for the 2017 taxes. Yeah, and they're not here yet.
That's an error.
So they can upload.
I think the system is programmed at the turn of the year, like December 31st, to start asking for.
Okay, so it's 2016. So they won't have the you can't even file yet. I'll let them
know. You're not ready to file yet. So we'll let them know that, and I'm glad you pointed that out to me, because I can then call the state of California and say, hey, you guys need to correct
right,
this.
Exactly. So I don't know if they upload it. The other thing that I had that was a great additive for what we're doing is I had a conversation with RBD's sponsors, two of our in the utility industry. And so I've put on our schedule to do a procurement matchmaking.
Very good.
And they were very excited.
Very good.
Both Sempra and Edison want to be a part of that. They want to be in a panel. Edison actually wants to do a breakout
That's great.
On any topic that they want, and it'd be an all-day thing. And our guest today
That's what I was just going to say.
Dynamic president of the Chamber of Commerce, so we're going to be working together.
That's what I was just going to say.
And so we're going to have a big event there.
Yes.
And then the other thing, they will all want, both of them want to come in and participate like Danetta did at one of our classes for our next class in February.
That's beautiful.
So we're going to put that together.
And just so you know, for those of you who are listening, just so you know that what we do here at the Business Zone is not like any other program out there. We don't do the standard stuff. We don't tell you stuff, give you lip service, and we don't follow through. If we say we're going to have a class, this class is going to be something that you can learn from. You get some tools, you get materials that you can actually use within your company and to grow your business. We don't just hold workshops just to hold workshops to count numbers. Oh, we got 25 people here today. No, that's not what it's all about. At the end of the day, we're looking to get you business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. And once we get you there, then we match you up with a contract provider.
Right, exactly. So they're all excited about that. So I put that on our calendar for, I think May, June, somewhere like that.
Okay.
And they're excited about that. So,
okay. That sounds good.
So it's going to help our BD as well as, and I had told my representative from Sempra, I said, we are leading the horses to the water and we're going to make them drink.
That's right.
And they're going to be ready for you. and he's definitely very much into wanting the supplier diversity for minorities to work.
Right.
So I told him, I said, so here's the deal. We both have a vested interest. I know you are tired of trying to explain away why we're not ready, and we're tired of hearing it. So this is what we're doing. So if we can work together, we can collaborate together, we can make this happen.
That will definitely happen, because we're not going to let them buy, and we're not going to let these small businesses buy either.
Right, exactly.
We're going to guide them the right way. We're going to set them up, build their infrastructure. We want, when small businesses are asked for certain documents, where's your business license? Where's your business plan? 10 seconds or less. You've got it right there using our system. Where's your financials? You got your balance sheet. You got your statement of cash flow. Where's your profit and loss? 10 seconds or less. You got it right there. So no longer are small businesses are going to come to the table trying to do business with contract providers, and they say, sorry, we can't do business with you. You're not ready. You don't have your documents. Documents are going to be there.
Exactly. So we are not playing. There's some industries out there that will help us acquire some generational wealth to change and be more active and committed to our communities based upon our economic status. So we're excited. It's going to be a great 2018, even with all the craziness that's taking on.
And tell them when the next mastermind will start.
The next mastermind is going to start probably February 21st, somewhere in that third week of February. I've got to still confirm the date with the Urban League. And so we are partnering with all our stakeholders in our community to really make a change. Here's a bit of a coup. And I talked to, I'm always talking about the beauty industry, right?
Yes.
So the guy that has the program or the curriculum to develop business, beauty supply store managers. Yes. So he's going to be in town next week.
Oh, good.
And so he's going to be on the show. I tried to get him in the studio, but they're flying in and won't get into LA to 2:30. So he's going to Skype in at 4. And then I'm going to have Ken Williams from University of Beauty on in the studio.
Beautiful.
And we're going to have that conversation.
Excellent.
And then Ken is on his way to the Donner Brothers or Bonner Brothers conference or hair show in Atlanta. Yeah. So they will have already met. And then we're going to find some money so that we can get the curriculum in Ken's school. He will be the only beauty school in this part of the country that has a course on being a beauty supply manager. I told him,
what I'm talking
I said, you stepping it up above Paul Mitchell and Vidal.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what we're talking about.
We don't want to be the workers anymore. We want to be the owners.
We want
to be the owners.
He was so excited. He was like, oh my God, this is what I've been, they've been in business since 1933 is a third generational business. So he was really excited. And I've already got the confirmation from Professor Robinson's crew. I talked to them just over the last couple of days. Yeah. So we got some big stuff. We got the cannabis industry thing going on.
Great. There's so much information, so many things going on.
Yeah, so we're kind of excited.
Oh, I'm very excited.
Yeah.
And as you all know, we're big on compliance. Compliance is what we do. We help small businesses to become compliant because we don't want them to lose an opportunity because they're not compliant. They don't have all their documents in a row. The business is not set up properly. So that's part of what we're going to do for the cannabis industry as well, compliance. Making sure they've got their licenses, making sure they got all their documents, their key documents in place.
Exactly. So we're going to change you whether you want to change or not.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we're at the bottom of the hour, Crystal, and we're pretty excited about having our guests on the show.
I am, and he's starting in a new old position. Yeah. But this time, we're gonna hopefully he's gonna really, really enjoy it, because it's just a really exciting time, I think, to really even be in a position as a director or a president of an organization that's a stakeholder in the community. And if we really and Michael and when Rhonda was over at the Urban League, we actually put together a coalition so that we collaboration, and so that we could work together. So that now Michael is back at the helm. We're gonna make that happen. I got a lot of people already slated.
On this show today, we're going to commit to teaming and partnering with him and his organization. We're going to have a strategic partnership. And, like I say, when we form partnership, it's not a play or a paper partnership. It's for real. We make it happen. Results. We're about results. So I'm excited.
Yes.
Very excited.
So I'm excited. So we're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back and introduce our guests.
Exactly. Take a break.
Hello. Meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
Each year, the state of California contracts for billions of dollars of goods and services. We as a state can and should leverage our spending power to achieve policy goals that help the people of California. One major policy goal we have is to create jobs and grow our state economy. Promoting the development of small businesses within California is a great way for us to do that, because California's small businesses are the engine of economic growth. 95% of companies in California are small businesses, and with the right opportunities, these small businesses can grow to become the next Apple, Netflix, or Tesla. So let's all do our part to promote small business development and grow our state economy. Together,
we're going to get our 40 acres and a mule.
So we're back on the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. And for those of you who are just tuning in, our phone number here is 323-293-3375. That's 323-293-3375. We really want you to call and chime in, because our next guest on the program today is really phenomenal. He's got a wealth of information. And Crystal, who do we have on the show today?
Our next guest, and I'm very, very excited to have him. He has been a member of RBD and a supporter of RBD for as long as I've been a part of RBD, but he's actually been in the community serving just like the rest of us. So we have Mr. Michael S. Jones. He's a CEO. Michael is, first and foremost, he's one of those Toastmasters, I think, just like Anthony Penn, I think the DT.
So he's got that voice.
Yeah, he got the voice, and he knows how to articulate. And he's an author. He's a radio and TV and radio show personality. He's a motivational, inspirational speaker. He's a business and professional coach, an entrepreneur. 40 years of for-profit and non-profit experience of helping people to succeed. And up until, I guess, 3 years ago, he was the president and CEO of the Crenshaw Chamber of Commerce. He took a little break out of it, and we had Armin Ross, and he did an excellent job. And now, as of January 1st, he's back at the helm of being the CEO and president of the Crenshaw Chamber of Commerce.
By special request and popular demand.
Right, exactly.
It's all good. It's all
It's
good.
all good.
Welcome
So,
to
Michael,
Business
welcome
Zone.
to the show.
Good to be here.
We're happy that, not that we loved Armin as well, and we're sad to see him move to Maryland, although I hear his wife is really happy to be in Maryland.
Well, actually, we're going to be in partnership because Armin's going to work with the board. He'll be actually the CEO of the board.
Okay.
And I'll be the president of the Crenshaw Chamber of
Oh,
Commerce.
great.
Oh, okay.
And it's going to work out
Oh,
very well.
fantastic. Then.
Yeah.
So you guys still will be together.
Yeah,
Because you were
excellent.
together before, right?
Yes,
He
yes.
was, you guys were running it like
Right.
Jackie and I.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Well, fantastic. And I know his house is going to be another year or so, a couple of years of being.
It's a long ways away, but
right.
he's going to make it. He's going to be bi-coastal with his
Okay.
business, and he's going to take care of it. And we're going to try and make him successful as possible.
That's great.
Okay.
That's what
That
we
is
do.
great.
All righty, and then we are glad to have you back, and we're happy because it's a good time to be back, huh?
Right. It
it's
is,
a
very
lot
much
of
so.
stuff going on, and I think it's important. The chamber is very much a part of what's happening on Crenshaw.
Absolutely. When I was here as president, actually 5 years ago, I called and referred to Crenshaw as the Nile River. The Nile River is everything about economics, power, people coming together. But I've since changed that name or that association.
Okay.
The Crenshaw corridor right now is the aorta.
That's right.
The aorta, because we have the light rail coming. So we'll have all these people coming through our community, coming to restaurants in our community, doing some positive things while on the way going to get their football on. Not one team, but two teams. Come on now.
Yep.
So all we need to
That's
do is
right.
just make sure we cut down on the cholesterol and all the other things and make sure the aorta runs with blood.
With blood, right, exactly.
That
and
good
we
blood.
got our finger on the pulse
Yes.
of the run.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, so
And then
that's
also
fantastic.
the properties in the area are just going sky crazy.
Right,
Yeah.
They're
right.
going sky crazy. So it's going to be a good time. It's going to be just a time of coming together. I think that's the most important thing that I'm striving after in this time that I'm here, because we look at fiefdoms, we look at people with, this organization over here, this organization over here. We all need to come together.
Right,
As we
right.
come together, as we have in so many different ways when I was president, we're going to make this really a good and a wonderful place to live, a good place to do business, where businesses can be lifted up. All boats are going to rise together, and we're going to have some positive things. Certification.
That's right.
Outstanding.
That's right.
Everybody's going to be in their lane working
That's
it
right.
and making it work.
That's what I'm
Right,
talking
and that's
about.
very, very important. And then we can't do it alone. In fact, when I went to the Power Network conference last year, I met this guy, and I'm actually going to see if I can get him Skyped into the show in in March. And he in Omaha, Nebraska, they have actually created a holistic ecosystem. And so they're no longer working in silos.
Yes.
Now they're working, the financial entities all work together. The educational entities all work together.
Very good.
The business entities and the nonprofits that are working either in the health or the support of human people, housing. So they're all in one big, and he's created this ecosystem.
Right.
So each one is connected to the next
Right,
one.
right.
So it took them about 10 years to do that. They were able to elevate their kids' GPAs up to from a very low, like 2 something, they're all up to 3.5, 3.95, or almost 4.
Right.
So they're 85% of the kids over this time period all went to college.
Right.
And the only thing they do not own right at the present moment is the hospital, and they're working on that. So and I've actually spoken to him, and he's very much open to coming here to give us guidance and how we can duplicate their program. No need to reinvent wheels.
You don't have to reinvent the
And
wheel.
so that's one of the things that we pulled together, and I told him we were pulling together a think tank, a leadership think tank, and then we'll bring them out, and then he can show us what they've done over that time frame and how we can redevelop that here in Los Angeles, driven by us as the stakeholders.
So
I've always been moved by the term FUBU, for us, by us.
Yeah.
We have everything here that we need
Yeah.
to be
Exactly.
successful.
yes.
So let's not stress. Let's just make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
thing,
we
and-
don't need to be operating in that silo anymore.
No.
We
Right,
need to
exactly.
collaborate.
Collaboration.
And we've got enough talent, skills, and resources here to make it happen. I mean, quite a lot of people have come on our show and they say, I didn't even know this show existed. I didn't even know you guys were here doing what you do for small business. So we're trying to get the word out, and we're meeting with chambers like yourselves and others to get the word out so other small businesses know what we're doing and how we can work together to help them to get to where they need to be.
And it's prime because 5 years ago we were just at the very tip of the rail and didn't really see the end of it, and there were things that we probably, if we had seen what was going to happen, we could have circumvented and handled a lot better. But with the stadium, the 2 stadiums and the 2 teams in Inglewood, that's just massive. So that's going to bring more hospitality industry. So getting our people ready for that. Then with the football stadium, the soccer stadium on the other side of town, that's more opportunity. And then when you take the industry, the cannabis industry, the beauty industry, this is a good time. At least there's going to be some money out there. And
Absolutely.
then us, our nonprofits, we don't have to be beholden to sponsors that don't want to help us.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
While we continue. So we'll go after others. We go to states, and I've seen some people do some very creative things.
Yeah.
In fact, the Cherie Franklin, in addition to being the cannabis lady, she has she does an urban design. That's her business.
Yeah.
So she has a program set up with the Central Avenue Historic District where the property taxes is used to support the businesses in that community.
That's forward thinking.
That's forward thinking, right?
Absolutely.
The assessments from that is allocated. So whatever the taxes are going back to the businesses that operate and pay taxes.
Right.
We could do that here in Crenshaw.
Right.
We could do that there in Lamert. Right? So we got to be thinking and surround ourselves with the brain power so we know exactly how to elevate our people up.
I think one of the things that we can do, and Armin has kind of taken a few steps here, one of the greatest things that we can do along the boulevard is up our game of customer service.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
So we want
that's
to have
a big thing.
We want to work and partner with other organizations like RBD and other organizations like SKIP to look at customer service, making that premier for our community. So people don't feel like they have to go outside of our community. They can stay right here at home and buy and buy and
That's
buy.
a big reason why many people go outside of our community. The customer service is not there. So they're going, hey, I'm not being respected here. I'm going to go somewhere else where they love me. And that's really what happens. Many of our small businesses don't get that. So it's going to be up to us to really help them to understand that. Now, some people, in order for them to pay attention, you got to hurt them in the pocketbook. So if we're going to have to come up with some kind of penalty or whatever, however we want to phrase it, to get people to start paying attention, then maybe that's what we'll have to do with some of our small businesses.
And I think it has to be a little bit more hands-on. I think it has to be exactly what we're doing with the minority certification. I think a lot of that customer service issue is the lack of training.
Yes.
So I think, now in this, the way you work in business worlds and corporations, they're outsourcing their HR. and having people come in and do an assessment. In fact, I had a call from one of our RBD members, and they wanted to hire, and they were like, okay, we need to do this the right way. So do you have an HR referral that can come in to our facility and do the training, make sure we're hiring the right people, because obviously with the assessment, obviously we don't know what we need to help us identify what we need and to be able to help grow our organization. And so I said, yeah, I do. And so someone else had told me that this person had come into her company and just turned it around. And so now they're all excited. So I think that's it. And maybe one of our, maybe that could be is we're working on certification. Maybe we can have some people that are working on our organizations, working on that piece of it. There is a young lady, and you probably know her, everybody now knows Carolyn Hines. You know Carolyn Hines? So Carolyn Hines is actually a certified hospitality and customer service instructor.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that.
There's actually certification. And so she does that for other entities. She works at, she offers that service over at the Forum. So there's a program. And she's been telling me there's money out there for it. And so maybe we need to sit down and she knows exactly who's paying for that kind of stuff.
Well, the interesting thing you should mention about that, when I was my first tour of the Crenshaw Chamber of Commerce, I had a dream. I had a dream. I had a real dream about this. Why don't all the community-based organizations come together?
Right.
As you come together, let's look at 5 problems for the month to see how we can solve those problems, bring leadership to those problems, bring money to those problems, bring education to those problems, to basically help people get past it. And then the next quarter, we look at 5 more problems. And then in a year, we'll have some things done, and it'll be a much better place. People will be cool about customer service. People will be able to engage with one another. They'll understand the benefit of working together through collaboration versus trying to be out here all by myself, and I don't want to do this and I don't want to do that. One of the key things I want to reenact is to have some type of placard to put in our businesses for the Crenshaw Chamber of Commerce. And not to say, well, I want my 5% discount or this, that, and the other. We always start off with discount. Let's talk about relationship. To be able to go in and say, you're doing business in my community and I need to do business with you. At Christmas time, Staples and the cyber things go on. What about going to Lamert Park, buying some things?
Right, exactly.
I like that.
Actually, Carolyn just came in. Hey, Carolyn. There is a program. One RBD used to have that as well. Especially right after the riots. And that they were a member, and we had pretty much given them the FDA a sign of approval. But there's a program, an active program that works like that up in the Bay Area. I was at. Remember when we did the Carrot program when we were doing the instruction, the Taco Tuesdays, weren't you guys? Remember we were doing that?
Yes.
So I met somebody at one of the luncheons, and they had that program, and it was a rewards card, and it really helped their businesses to be engaged with one another. So that's something we can definitely look at.
Well, I loved the time that we all came together, and all of the mayoral candidates were going out to the valley to go.
Oh, yeah, that was fantastic.
And so we put 3 organizations together. And we said we're going to have a mayoral candidate forum here at Holman United Methodist Church. And we had 9 candidates stay for almost 7 hours. Nobody left early because, they wanted to make sure they did some hand-holding and things to be able to touch the people here in the Los Angeles area versus the, San Fernando area. And it was really a very successful thing. And so each of the organizations had a chance to be moderators to, in fact, ask questions. And it was a great time. We can do that again, and we can do even more things like that to make us grow.
I think it would be fantastic. And then we had that one where we did the think tank with Operation Hope, and we had all of the bankers and everybody and we addressed what our issues were and some action plans. So we just need to reenact that and create the actions now.
I remember that meeting so well because they had John Hope Bryant had a young man come in. He was coming back from China on his way to Washington, D.C. And everybody was talking about, how we need to do this and we need to do this. I said, financial literacy, y'all need to make it sexy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And John took that and ran with it. But the idea is we have so much of talking back and forth. We need to look at embracing one another.
Right.
And let's see how we can go ahead and make this work.
Right.
I think so. And I love the fact that we address 4 or 5 different, an issue, and then we all take our take on it and get that accomplished, and then be able to move on to the next one and next one, because we have a lot of loose end pieces. And we have different groups doing everything, and then it just gets so overwhelming.
A lot of people are not on the same page.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's a big part of the problem.
Yeah, and it can happen. I know a young man, Damon, I don't think, but he thinks he's in the Crenshaw. He's with one of the coalitions for the homelessness. What's his name? Damon Grant? Is it Damon Grant or
Halliburton? I know Damien.
Yeah, and so I went to they had a all day over at Audubon on homelessness, and it was all day. Literally all day. And he was able to bring 40 organizations together in a 3-week period to work together on home to address that. And they brought in legal aid and everything for those that have been, and just brought information on if you've been evicted from, which some of them have been evicted from a home or lost their home and don't have any place to live because they can't even get the credit repaired. Don't even know that they can get the credit repaired to get to get shelter over their head.
So, Mr. Jones, tell us a little bit about the mission of the Crenshaw Chamber of Commerce.
Well, I'm glad you asked that, since I have the flyer right here. It's been a while since I looked at it. One of the things that the Crenshaw Chamber has been doing for almost 84 years, we're in our 85th year now, we're empowering business through promoting commerce through electronic economic development.
No, fantastic.
All that means is that we have a killer website with an attitude that can help people find what they're looking for, find different types of business, and we even give you a website. Now, a lot of chambers don't do that, but we give people a website and show you how to monetize that, monetize your business, let people know who you are, where you are, how to get in contact with you. Because I remember back when I started in 2005, it was like, how many different types of Astro Bright flyers are there out there? The lime green, the orange, and those still have their place. But with this electronic piece, it really, really is helpful to advertise, to do videos and all kinds of things to let people know what you're all about. So they don't have to go out of the community.
So if you don't mind, and if you do, you can let us know. How many members are in your membership, the Chamber's membership right now? Like 300, 500, 1,000?
It's about 230 right now. Okay. But in the time that I'm going to be spending with the Chamber, my goal is to run it up to 500. 500 businesses, 500 members, people that will be working together, people that will be talking to one another, people that will be enjoying meetings at RBD because they can bring in a speaker that can speak to a lot of things. And so we can do joint meetings together and things, and really, really just embrace empowering business in this Crenshaw corridor.
Now, what if we told you that we could help you to increase that number?
Well, that's why I'm here.
Because that system that you see right over there, it's our electronic system. It's a patent pending system. It's proprietary. And it's a tool that will help businesses to become smarter, operate smarter. They can operate more organized. They've got all their documents that we're talking about.
Right.
And if they don't have it, through our classes, through the Business Zone, we can get them ready. So through our potential partnership, we can put a system together that, one, will enhance the existing members that you have to make them better.
Absolutely.
And two, reach out to new potential businesses, bring them in. And then with your collaboration with Recycling Black Dollars, that's going to even help to enhance the whole process.
And I think Warren Buffett said it the best. one of the greatest investments that you can make is in yourself. And so if we don't have to go out to Pepperdine. We don't have to go out to Dominguez. We have all the brain power right here in our community.
Yes.
So all we need to do is just, bring people together and just go ahead and do the training, do the things, and then celebrate as well.
Yeah.
Because we have some powerful, powerful businesses here. We have some powerful, powerful thinkers.
Right.
And the politicians are one sometimes just to kind of stay back in the background and everything. We want to bring them in and include them in because we can help them with some of their initiatives too. So everybody will be working together.
Well, it's actually very important because now what we should have learned from our current experience going on in government is if we're not involved, if we're not selecting, and Claude Anderson says this, we have to be involved in who is being elected in our community.
Absolutely.
To make sure that they're supporting us and they don't sell out and support somebody else. And then we just get the handouts from it, or the pieces, a little bit of the pieces. So
I affectionately call it kibbles and bits.
Yes, kibbles and bits. So we want to get the whole plate.
Absolutely.
With all of the fixings.
Some meat on it. I'm a vegetarian, but we need some meat
on it.
On the plate.
Right, exactly. So we need to. So I think that would be fantastic. And I think the program, what you guys bring to the table, and I believe that's what the chambers are. You guys are that helping with that legislative end of it, right?
That's part of some of the things that we do.
That you do. And if you don't mind, if you can kind of talk about that. I know GLAC has they're entrenched in legislation and policies and so forth, and that's for the downtown area. So what exactly is the role of the chambers, and what's the specific role that Crenshaw has, and what is the range that they're reaching, or who they're reaching?
Well, the interesting thing, when I turned it over to Armin, he was successful in getting this mayor by the name of Eric Garcetti to come to Crenshaw, and I sat next to him on the dais, and he was surprised that I had been there for 5 years because we had never met face to face. And I said, well, there's probably some reasons for that because your predecessor, he had some other agendas that he was working with. But we really struck up a great conversation about how we can work together. I used to be a city commissioner, and so I know how it works with City Hall and some of the things. Bernard Parks had me working on the light rail and some of the commissions downtown. And I know how that works. So we need to bring them in. We need to bring them to the table so that we can say, this is what we want to do. How can you help us? Not a predetermined thing. You need to do this. How can you help us? What can you bring to the table? And Eric has been here many times in the community for different events and things like that. So in answer to your question, we're going to have that conversation get started. And I'm not going to do it by myself. I want to bring all of us together so that we can have a substantive working environment that we can go ahead and call successful.
That sounds great.
And I think it's if we have that hands-on. So and I'm maybe even getting Eric Garcetti here on the show.
Absolutely.
So that the business owners know that this is not a hands-off approach. If you have a question and go attend a meeting or a councilship meeting so that you can get to know who's representing you as a business owner.
Yeah.
I mean, it was very important to me when I moved because I lived down in the Washington Adams district. So when I relocated up to here to the View Park area, well, if I changed my voting address, then to this area, this is an unincorporated area, so you have no comments. You don't vote for the mayor or anything to do with the city of Los Angeles. So
in other words, you don't count.
Yeah. So with me being the co-director of Recycling Black Dollars, I'm like, wait a minute, I can't just give that up, right? So I keep my mailing address in that area so that I can make sure that I have some say-so, because as the co-director, my membership is all over the city.
Right.
And that's important, right?
Absolutely.
And so we gotta really start thinking things through. How do, because you voting for different ordinances and legislation in your community affects us as a business, affects us as an organization, and things can happen without your say-so.
One of the other things that I hope we can do, and I agree with everything that you said, we need to showcase some of our businesses to the point of being able to come on, and the first thing you think about is, well, I need thus, and so. I need to go down to Wilshire. No, you don't. They're not in the mindset to be able to deal with some things. And yes, I understand times of the past where bad customer service and other challenges. Don't write off the whole thing. Let's work together. With a broad brush. But if you can go ahead and feature some of the businesses, RBD and Crenshaw Chamber of Commerce, and those that are really trying to make it in Leimert Park and things like that, I think it'll be really, really good for all of us to come together, put our arms around that, and look at generating economic development.
And maybe that's something we can look at that's kind of like a smaller version of a Taste of Soul, right? Because that's so big, the businesses are there, but it's not business, right? It's a carnival festival type of thing. So maybe what we can do, just like in the same vein of the procurement matchmaking, maybe we need to have an event like that where, in fact, there's a networking group, and maybe this is something that RBD can do with the chamber and any other chambers. There was a networking group that is called Networking After Dark or After something. And so when you come in, it's color coded. So when you come in, everybody that's in finance is here. Everyone that's in insurance is here. Everybody's in whatever is here, right? And then they give you, and then you pick if there's some cross pollination between yours. So you wear this color.
Right. So
when people walk up to you, they know what business you're in, and then you can also introduce people. I think, and she actually started this business in Chicago. And now she takes it all over the countryside.
Very good.
And so that's something that maybe we can reach out and have her do one for us.
Sure.
And
work together.
And work together in that way. Because I hear people all the time. There was a guy at our RBD meeting on Tuesday that said, I didn't know you guys are still around. Now, you guys know me.
Wow.
You know I'm out there.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm like, huh? He said, maybe you can increase your marketing.
Why don't you go back and increase your marketing now that you know that we're here every second Tuesday of the month?
Right, exactly.
Okay? Bring back 25 of your friends.
Right, exactly. So those are the things that people tell us.
Sure.
And it's not that we're not, it's just they're not connected to doing business in their own community.
Absolutely.
So therefore, we're not on the radar.
Right.
So we're going to take a break.
Oh, yes. So you're on the Business Zone with
Krista
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. And the information we're disseminating is great information. I really think you should participate in this conversation. Our phone number is 323-293-3375, 323-293-3375. Take a break.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
Each year, the state of California contracts for billions of dollars of goods and services. We as a state can and should leverage our spending power to achieve policy goals that help the people of California. One major policy goal we have is to create jobs and grow our state economy. Promoting the development of small businesses within California is a great way for us to do that, because California small businesses are the engine of economic growth. 95% of companies in California are small businesses, and with the right opportunities, these small businesses can grow to become the next Apple, Netflix, or Tesla. So let's all do our part to promote small business.
Welcome back to the Business Zone. And I want to do some shout outs to some of our small businesses out there. You may not hear your name, but it doesn't mean we're not thinking about you. Jasandra Gibbs, we want to say hi to you and your phenomenal organization. Angela Gordon at Blue Picture. We really want to say hi to you. Jennifer Wilson, and her business is LA Social Karma. Yes.
And then we have our Dina Brooks in Designs by Dina.
Yes.
And these are all individuals that are part of our mastermind group right now.
Part of our program.
And
we want to recognize you.
We have the individuals that have the dumping company.
That is Taisha Hall.
No, she's got, what is her school? I'll have to pull it up.
So we want to recognize you guys and let you know that we're thinking about you as business coaches and business management consultant. We're out here. We're always thinking about you. We're always thinking of ways to help you grow your business, help you to create a competitive advantage over your competitors, because as you know, we're disruptors. We're here to disrupt this market, and we want to help you to be one of those too.
Exactly. Right. we have to acknowledge and let people know. And when you call for RBD, you will get a referral to somebody that's in our directory or within our midst. And for those of you that know me, I always have my top 10 people that they're on the forefront of my mindset when I'm out networking. So I'm not just networking for me, I'm networking for you as well. So
that's exactly what we're talking about. So our special guest on the show today is Mr. Michael Jones. He's the CEO, president of the Crenshaw Chamber of Commerce. Mr. Jones has some great information that he wants to disseminate here to small businesses. For those of you in the Crenshaw district, you need to be paying attention to this, because this is a way that we're going to help to grow your business in 2018. So, Mr. Jones, I wanted to ask you real quickly, your chamber membership, it's comprised of a lot of different types of small businesses. What are some of the businesses that you have participating in the chamber? You got construction?
Well, let me just name a few off of our list here. These are both small and large businesses. Mm-hmm. And I think we need to come up with a special community award for Mr. Denny's.
I think
Ron
so.
Smothers. Denny's.
And actually, I'm getting Ron to come to the Urban League and do a series of workshops and seminars on franchising.
Mm-hmm. PCR, these are some of our corporate members. Mm-hmm. U.S. Bank, Kaiser. Mm-hmm. City National Bank, which is the new bank on Crenshaw, on the Aorta.
Very good.
Walgreens, Baldwin Hills Crenshaw Plaza, Wells Fargo, EDD, 7-Eleven, Big Five, and it goes on and on and on. Good. But what I want to do is put into your hands the ability to go and look and see who you need to look up.
Yes.
By going to www.crenshawchamber.com. That's www.crenshawchamber.com. www.crenshawchamber.com.
Exactly.
The phone number is 323-293-2900. We have an office at 3701 Stocker Street, Suite 306. That's in Los Angeles, California. So come in, give us a call, let us know what you want to do, and we're there to help you.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Now, we know 2018 is it's making out to be a great year already. So we want to see what type of plans you've got in store for the chamber, what direction you're going in, and how these small businesses can participate.
Well, one of the things that we try and do, and I did this every year for the 5 years that I was with the chamber before, we brought in the IRS for the first meeting.
Very good.
And that IRS meeting was to look and determine what are the new tax laws that have changed. Because, I mean, there were so many things that happened. So I lost all my contacts, and they've either retired or gone other places.
Right.
I've had some people call me back. But that's the type of thing we want to do, starting off at the beginning of the year to help people be level set as to what do I need to pay attention to for this year.
Yes.
Secondly, customer service. I want to really raise the bar on customer service.
Yes.
But more importantly, many organizations get a board together, and this board is so austere, and they sit down and get a tablet out, and they start writing what they think the organization needs. I want to do just the opposite. I want to develop, or I have developed, a survey that I want to send out to the members, and then we will collate all of that information back, and then begin to look at the programs that they want to see, the operations and how to get on the radio, how that can happen, video, and other things. As those things just begin to start happening, then we'll have a chamber that is focusing on the needs of the membership of the community versus just kind of making it up off the top of our heads.
Now, we've talked a lot on this program about the Crenshaw district, the Crenshaw corridor, and this project that's going on with Metro on the corridor. How do you see that impacting many of the small businesses here in the Crenshaw region? And what are some of the things you think we can do to help them?
One of the things that I think we have to do, and this is one of my favorites, and that's Doolin's Restaurant.
Yes.
When they came in with the quote-unquote transit-oriented development, they took away a lot of his parking. However, we can mitigate that by advertising his business. We can, because I mean, everybody here has had something from Doolin's. I'm a vegetarian, and I tell you, I love some of the things that he has over there. But that's how we need to work together. We need to go ahead and say, okay, we have a blockage over here. That's not a knockout factor. Let's go ahead and promote Doolin's. Let's go ahead and promote them to let people know that they can go down there and get a good meal. You can get real certified, down to the bone greens, et cetera, et cetera. And then highlight all of our businesses to make sure that nobody's left behind. Nobody's ignored or things like that. Because if you don't promote yourself, you know, you're just going to be out there making a lot of noise.
I like that. I like that.
And one of the issues that Greg or Doolin's has is that, and he's been fighting it by his little self, is that they when they took the parking away from here, they also put street cleaning between 11 and 3. Which is right smack dab in the middle of it. It's like a double
whammy.
Yeah, and so he's been trying to fight that, and so maybe we can come together and create a petition amongst all our organizations to get those signatures to demand that they change. And they can move it up from 9 to 11.
And then as they get the signatures, we can go ahead and take the light rail down to the next meeting and all be there together to express our concerns because we want to stay in business. We don't want to lose any businesses.
Right, exactly.
And so it's important for us all to work together.
Now, Metro has been talking about a new program they're trying to launch. Maybe it's not a new program, but it's a revised program that they're trying to launch, wherein they're going to see if they can help small businesses to become primes instead of being subcontractors.
Right.
So I think what they're doing is they're allowing contracts to be awarded up to $3 million where small businesses can be the prime on projects. Have they spoken to the chamber about that yet?
I have not spoken to anybody at Metro on that particular point. Maybe Armin has.
Yeah.
However, but I think we need to look at some training to understand, go
Yes.
back to the basics,
Yes.
the relationship of a prime
Yes.
versus a sub, so on
Yeah.
and so forth, because there are a lot of things that are going to happen. I know when I was on the Expo line, I was on the Urban Design Committee put together by Bernard Parks. And because we were there, we were on the Community Leadership Coalition as well. And so we had a chance to really speak to a lot of issues that were of concern. For example, people would come in and say, Metro would come in and say, well, we have all these jobs and everything, but really haven't had that many people apply.
Yeah.
And so they asked the journalist who was working with Metro, who was brand new, what newspapers were you advertising in? La Opinion and this and that. There were no, some of the newspapers like the Sentinel.
Right,
And so we had a chance to change that.
Yeah.
It has to be dialogue back and forth because they don't know.
That's true.
And because they don't know, we have to fill in that vacuum and say, here's a way that you can go ahead and make this work.
Right.
Blair Taylor and myself, we used to be there. We were on the committee, and we would always be yelping and screaming about things. And we got some things to turn around.
The squeaky wheel gets all kinds of things turned, right? But I think I like that. And there are a number. I know Carly, the Crenshaw Yoga and Dance Studio. She's been certified, but again, we got to help her navigate through it so it can benefit for her. But we need to help her be able to grow her studio.
Right.
I've been involved with her since. I think I took one of my first Zumba classes over there. And so she is such a ball of energy and just helping her. And people don't know that she's there. And all of the yoga, and Armin actually even takes yoga over there. But all the wonderful things and the rental of her studios that are there.
Right.
So we've been doing that. We had a wonderful Christmas party over there. They celebrated. She did her 13th. She's been in business for 13 years. And it's a wonderful spot, and she's very compassionate business owner. So let me ask this question: so what from Crenshaw and Wilshire, all the way to where for the reach?
Basically to Inglewood, just north of Inglewood.
Okay, that's north of Manchester or north of Imperial?
I'm going to put out a map that we used to have a long time ago so everybody can kind of see, because we don't want to encroach on them, and I know they don't want to encroach on us.
Some of that is the airport chamber, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they have some time in there too. One of the other things that I really would like to do is really celebrate. We have some jewels in this community, one being Frank Dinkins.
Yes.
And anybody needs to know something about business, they can go to Frank. And Frank is like his namesake. He is very frank. He will tell you.
That he is.
And I would hope that we could get, we need seminars and we need this, that, and the other, but I would hope that we could get some of those going too to help people, because Frank has been successful in just about every business that he started. And there's been quite a few gas stations and cleaners and the office furniture business. But if we can get a cadre of people that we can use for RBD and others, as well as Skip, I think we can do some powerful
and we
things.
can just do, and it doesn't even have to be really, it can be like mixers, right? We can go to Doolin's and just invite everybody over and everybody order a meal. In fact, like City National Bank is having an event next week. At you should have been invited for that, right?
Well, I'm just on the cusp right now. I've met them. We have met down at their office and everything. So
they're having a private meeting at Post and Bean next Wednesday. I'm sure if you're not there, Armin's there or Gary's there. Somebody must
be there.
Okay.
I'll probably be there.
Okay. So, but that, and they're very much involved. They really want to be hands-on. Frank Martinez and Peter Jackson. They really want to be hands-on with our with all of us in the community.
They're good eggs, because we met with them down at the corporate office, and we laid out many of the things we're talking about today. They're on point. And I think they're going to do well because they're listening.
Yeah, they really want to be part of the community, and this was a strategic plan for them to position themselves right down in Crenshaw so that they can help the businesses along the way. And both of the entities that are running it are minorities, and so they're very much concerned and conscious of the gentrification going on in our community and the reason behind it. And that's one of the reasons we have to elevate ourselves so we have more voice in the gentrification.
And another particular guest that you could have on would be some of the realtors of color. There are so many things that what you don't know can go ahead and wipe you out.
Yes.
But if you know about some things, you kind of put some things together or even go together as a group, there can be power there as well, because Leimert Park is not just little old Leimert Park anymore.
Yeah.
Those houses are going for 800, almost, tickling $1 million right now.
North of 800.
Yeah, we did have Teresa Mack on the show early on, and my sister's a realtor, but you're absolutely right.
She's selling one right across the street from me. We had a chance to talk.
Yeah, so I'm going to reach out to some of the other big power brokers. There's a lot of real estate agents in this area, so I'll reach out, because next month, and if you have anyone that fits this, next month for Black History Month, I am highlighting disruptive Black women business owners and entrepreneurs.
Okay.
So if you have some in your membership, I would love to have them on the show. We want to highlight them. And then in April is Small Business Month. That was deemed by Muhammad Nazruddin.
Right.
So then we'll bring in on our guys in on that one.
Okay.
So in each month, I'm trying to make sure there's some thing going on that is very useful for all of our community as a media voice.
Well, I just want to say for the two of you right now, your voice is so important to the aorta and the lifeblood of our community, because what you don't know, you totally miss out on.
Exactly.
We had so many situations. I woulda, coulda, shoulda, but I didn't know.
Right.
And you guys are raising the bar for information.
Yes.
And it's so powerful, and we just appreciate the heck out of you.
Definitely.
Thank you.
And I was just wondering, if you were to get a platform, a megaphone, an electronic bully pulpit to share some information with your membership or the community, what is it that you'd like to say to the community to get them to understand, hey, new sheriff in town, new vision, new mission, this is what we're doing, this is how we can embrace you? What is it you'd like to tell these small businesses?
The majority of the folks that I would share with the ones that don't know me, let me introduce you to electronic economic development. Okay, so the Facebook, the websites, advertising on a website. One of the things that we did, we had a chance to put all of our members together. And so when you press Crenshaw Chamber on Google, our Crenshaw, our chamber would come up first. Why? Because you have 200 members there, and they all have a web presence, and so boom, it would come up, and it was powerful. So we kind of lost a lot of that, but I want to help people to embrace that so that they can be ready, that they can anticipate issues coming up, that they can exacerbate things and just really make it happen.
Yeah.
And with although it's kind of funny with Facebook Live.
Yeah.
Probably somebody needs to do a little consulting to kind of help people, put that in a little box and everything. Because, girl, I see you online. And, it's a funny thing. But that's a way that we can go ahead and communicate with one another, especially with all this negativity coming out of that place called Washington, D.C., we can go ahead and do some connections ourselves and things, and with videos and a lot of other things. So
and
it's
I think
powerful.
With your Toastmasters experience and expertise, I think that's another area is that we need to help our businesses learn how to articulate what they do. And put on that best foot forward when they're out networking.
Sure.
Because a lot of times we don't even know. You've heard them. Although I was very, very impressed, and I have to say this for my RBD people at the Breakfast Mixer on Tuesday. I was very impressed. They had it going on. The 30-second commercials were succinct. You knew exactly what people were doing and what they, what their business was or is. That I was very impressed.
But take that 23 seconds, which is now, they say, I think it's gone down to 18 seconds as far as the attention span. take that 18 seconds, put that on a video, and then send it out.
Oh yeah.
Because video, if a video is worth, they say 10 million words.
Oh, okay. and it's easy to Facebook Live. Anything you do, you can Facebook Live it and become your own little celebrity, right? I mean, I went somewhere and someone come running across the supermarket because they've seen me on YouTube, and it's like, oh, you're a celebrity. And in fact, today, so I've been wanting my 100 people subscribing on YouTube. Yeah. So today at class, my student, they're so wonderful. They saw my card on I had taken it. I was getting something out of my bag, and I laid the cards there. So they went up, they walked by it and saw the card and picked it up. And so then they were on. I hear the song. I'm like, why is the song playing in the classroom? And then they're on it, and they're like, we want to subscribe. So I'm like, well, let's make sure we subscribe to both Morris Media. So we got about 5 new subscriptions.
All right.
Well, I'll tell you a little secret. What you need to do is just say, first day of class, everybody has an A.
Yeah.
And the way that you keep the A, listen to what I say.
Right, exactly. So by next week, I'm going to have all the rest of them. It's 15 people. So at least I'll be closer to my 100.
Yeah, there you go.
Carolyn Hines is informing us there are numerous entrepreneurs in our community colleges where we are teaching entrepreneurial studies. Focus on the gig economy. Is there a student membership in the chamber?
We don't have a student membership at this time. Let me just share that right now. We have our business rates right now for personal and home-based businesses. The rate is $110. Students and seniors, $50. And block clubs even can go ahead and join as chamber members, $50. And then from there, 1 to 2 employees, it goes up to $210, $310 for 3 to 6 employees, 7 to 15 employees, $410, and over 16, $510. Okay. But come and talk to us because we're interested in helping this community to grow and having white blood cells developed up and down that aorta so that we can go ahead and capture some things and really make some things happen.
And the gig industry, she's absolutely right. That's like your Ubers and your food.
Oh, yeah,
and I think
absolutely.
there's still so much, there's a lot of room left to be disruptive in that industry. And so reaching out, and I know Carolyn works with the community colleges, so reaching out and bringing them in. And we really, truly do, and I've said this to Jackie, we need to bring that millennial group. So I've got to sit down and start bringing them in because when it's time for us to move on, we need to make sure our organizations are still there. But we've infused our wisdom and experience, and then they're bringing their specialties.
Very good point.
And so we all really got to think about the legacy of our organizations, because wasn't there an organization recently, he had a job placement type of organization, and Leo was just telling me about it, and he died, and he was kind of a single man, single man out there doing his own little thing. And so, but he did a lot of job training and got a lot of funding for it, but he got ill a number of years ago. I can't remember the name of it.
I was out of the cycle then.
Yeah, and Leo was talking about that, but we can't let that happen to our stakeholder organizations that have been in our community for 30, 40, 50 years.
And one of the things I guess I would like to kick back to you guys too, help people in your shows to understand the power of radio. The power of television, the power that can transform a business to the next level, because most people, it's too expensive, or I don't have the time. You need to make the time.
This is like podcasting is by far the best marketing tool you can ever create. His name was Chris Floyd.
Okay.
Yeah, so he recently passed away.
Okay.
And so now his organization is kind of like out there. But LAOIC was his organization. Thank you, Carolyn. But the power of the podcast. And it's not that expensive, and you can offset it by sponsorship and advertisement, which we're going to really focus on this year. Gilbert and I pretty much invested in the first year. But one, making you the expert in your area of expertise is the first thing. And two, really broadening your network. because you can go up and talk to any. I can go and talk to everybody. Hey, how you doing? Want to be on the show?
Yeah.
and it totally changes how they look at you.
Yeah.
And then they're bringing their wisdom and experiences to this platform. But I tell you, and even just being on the show, because one of the things that Gilbert and I do is I edit the segment and then I send it back to the person and they can utilize it on their websites. And what I've noticed is, because we can obviously track the analytics, that nobody really uses it like that.
Wow.
Now here you're sitting in this seat having this conversation one-on-one and very relaxed, and you don't take it back to your website or to your Facebook, or they don't take it back to their Facebook and really go, hey, I was on this show and this is what I do. I got a special going on this week. On the Business Zone special, and why don't you reach out to me and buy whatever I have. I mean, you're not utilizing the marketing piece of it.
You guys are so comfortable together. All that's missing is like a couch and a cup of coffee. You can sit back, kick it. And that's how it should be, because that's how you reach people to help them understand and embrace how important this media is. So that they can go ahead and take it to the next level and explode it and to be able to reach out. I'm doing some video myself. I have a group I work with called Talk Fusion. And I can go ahead and take a PowerPoint and go ahead and put some music to it, and then I have a video, and I work it. I used to use that with Toastmasters all the time, because that's how you reach people. You touch their heart, you touch their ears, and then boom.
Now, you also had a radio, because Gilbert and I over at West Hollywood, so you also were there for 4 or 5 years, right? Of a number of years, right?
It was about 2.5.
Yeah, 2.5 years. And so you understand this platform, because that was even early day platform.
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah, absolutely. And I worked with D Nice, and it was a great time. I learned a lot from him. He actually helped me with my Toastmasters, because I had to do a project. They call it a high performance leadership project. And I did it on a radio show and putting a radio show together, and then one for a TV show.
That's great.
And so it was great to be able to see all that stuff come together, because it takes a long time. Out of, say, over 400,000 people in the world that are Toastmasters, less than 1% get their, what we call their DTM, Distinguished Toastmaster. And that's really kind of a travesty in a way, but it's so much work that you have to do. People kind of get tired or they lose their way. But those that succeed, I wear my pin proudly here.
So you're one. I know Anthony Penn is one.
Yes.
D Nice is one, isn't he?
Yes. Actually, he has 3.
He has 3?
Yeah,
okay.
he has 3.
And who else did I know that Norma Hollis?
Norma Hollis, she has her own program that she runs.
Okay.
Very successful, and I love her. She's one of my mentors. Judge Patty Titus, she has 2 DTMs.
Okay.
And so it just kind of goes on from there. It's not so many that you add up. It's what you learn through Toastmasters to be able to articulate about your business, about yourself, to be able to tell a story on the fly and really have some fun with it.
How long have you been a Toastmaster?
About 5 years.
5 years.
Yes.
And did you see a remarkable change from who you were or how you engaged with people versus after you accomplished what you accomplished with them?
I can sum that up in one word.
What's that?
Hallelujah.
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 I've been in situations where you have to, one of the things I love about Toastmasters is what we call table topics, where it helps you to learn how to speak impromptu. And how many times has a mic been shoved in our face?
Yes.
But now we can be centered, we can relax and enjoy the moment. I've given some speeches where I've just gone back over my notebook and things that have happened in my life. It's been awesome. And I would recommend it for anybody, especially business owners, to be able to articulate about the important business that they're involved in.
Just marketing their value proposition alone is very difficult for them. So this would really help a lot.
Yes.
You know, when they go to matchmaking event or they go to workshops, the contract provider may ask them, so tell me about your business. What is it you do? How can you help me? How can you solve my pain? And they go, oh, well,
Right.
you know what I mean. I do construction. Okay, you do construction. What in construction? What do you construct? How do you do it? What part of construction do you do? Are you a general?
And
Or you're
by the time
sub?
you start firing all them questions, they can't even tell you their name.
Exactly.
Let alone what they've done.
One of the interesting things that I learned through D-Nice, I was kind of a mentee for him, and he basically helped me along the way. Mm-hmm. One of the things you look at is, with Toastmasters, there's two basic goals: to empower men and women to be better communicators and leaders. Think about it. If you're only a leader, you'll get arrogant, and you'll just kind of be out there trying to boss people around.
Yeah.
But if
Sounds
you have,
familiar.
I thought you would catch that. And then if you have the other side, to be able to be a good communicator, you have to slow your roll a little bit and think about the ums, the ers, the you-knows, and the ahas and things.
Yeah.
It's powerful.
Oh, yeah.
It can really be helpful to a lot of people.
And as a leader with effective communication skills, you never, ever come across as being condescending. Speaking down to your in organizational development, some people call it followers, some people call it supporters.
Sure.
I rather call it supporters instead of followers. So speaking to your supporters, you don't make them feel smaller than, anything. You try to give them that encouragement, that drive, and make them feel good about themselves.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let me see. What time is it? There's still time for you to run for president. Hold that thought. Because, Lord, we sure need it.
Yeah, we don't have a Toastmasters general at the helm now.
I've been thinking about that a lot because one of the key components or quality of an effective leader is to have that reverent power. Reverent power is the ability to have people do things for you even if they don't want to do it and feel good about doing it.
Well, President Obama, he was an amazing orator.
Yeah.
And so he just spoke and he just held your attention.
Oh, yeah.
And he could be talking the most political, usually where you would tune out.
Yeah.
You just like, I'm mesmerized, right? It's like watching a great movie or something.
Somebody asked him the other day, if you could go back and be president again, would you do it? He said, well, first, by law, I cannot do that.
Right.
But secondly, Michelle would kill me.
Yeah, I remember
Michelle
that.
ain't even going back into that pit anymore.
I remember that.
But you're absolutely right. I found, and it's just a gift of gab for me, I just like to talk, but it was very useful when I first started my business in the networking, be able to walk up to people, be able to pick up a conversation that someone's having and then be able to interject in that conversation respectfully, but have a little wisdom. And so I have a little secret that before I go to a networking event, I just kind of do a little Carolyn said Gilbert for president. Before the show,
I got one vote.
Right, exactly. Before Business Zone, I would go out and do my research with my Forbes magazine and some other resources that I would have. I'd do my research, and then I'd have like the top trending articles or things going on or business, whether it's business or political. And then when I got to an event, anybody was talking about those subjects, I already had some information. So I was ready, right? So people were like, how do you do this? How you can just come up and just start talking.
That's a good tip.
So which is table topics, really.
Absolutely.
And now the show kind of does that for you. It helps you because the conversation, whatever topic is trending that we're deciding for the show, then that helps me when I go out to network and bring on people. And then, of course, now you have a platform. Why don't you come on and be on the show?
And I would encourage you, because you are media icons right now. You may not feel that way, but you are. People can look to you, get inspiration. They can go ahead and look to you for information.
Right.
They can look to you for just getting around a corner or making some things happen.
Yes.
You are powerful beyond measure, both of you together. And I'm just really kind of putting that out there because we haven't had this in our community in a long time.
That is
We've had
true.
bits and pieces, or a piece over here, a piece over here. But
that is true.
Here you all go with TV
Yeah.
and the other things, and
Radio.
just swoop it in, and it's not expensive.
No.
So it can happen.
It can be done. Yes.
It can be done.
And the part that I'm an advocate for small businesses. A lot of times that the type of things that I do for small business, I don't even get paid for it. I do it because I love doing it. And that's why these workshops that we have right now under the Mastermind program, we are so excited about it and really, really want to push it. So, this is just amazing. It's just amazing.
I've had a chance to sit in on some of the wonderful teacher over here. She doesn't play.
Yeah.
She puts it out there, but she encourages as well. And so you really should be the president of a school. It would be world renowned.
And that's so funny because this particular class, so I teach a class at for LA County Office of Education, and most of everyone there are recipients in the GAIN program or some component of the social services. And so we're teaching them how to be entrepreneurs so that they can get a permanent job and a well-paying job, and then have the opportunity to elevate themselves in their careers. So it's a good group that I have. There's 15 of them. And so today I got there, and there's one young lady, we had been going through our practice sets, and so I teach the QuickBooks, right? So I'm teaching them bookkeeping behind the process in accounting, and then the tool. And so about a halfway class, and the young lady said, "Oh, I have something for you in my car. Don't leave." I was like, "Huh?" She goes, "Here's a little gift for you here." And then she goes, "And I have this picture I want to give to you, and I want to give you this." And then another one came in the other day with emergency because everybody had cold. She goes, "I don't want you to get sick, so here's emergency." And
that's amazing.
And then someone gave me a power bar the other day. They really are quite sweet.
That's amazing.
And so they are, and I got to teach it fast. I got 8 weeks to cram 30 years of what I know into them. So it's coming at them from every different angle. So the only way I can really get them to resonate is, like I said earlier, is to tie it into something that they're familiar with. So today we were talking about debits and credits, right? So they were sitting there like bewildered, right? Because that's, even from an accountant standpoint, you're like,
that's a scary subject.
Yeah, right.
Wait a minute, D comes before C?
Right. What? It doesn't mean the credit. No, it means left. It means right. Oh my God. Woo! So when I said we were going to do an exercise, they're like, woo! So it was so funny. But one of the young ladies is a cashier at a restaurant. Yeah. And so she goes, "Wait a minute. This is kind of connecting with me," because she started relating it to work. Yeah. So I did one of the examples of her. She worked at a restaurant. I said, "So what if the customer brought the said that they didn't want the meal or didn't want to pay for the meal? Yeah. Now what happens? How do we journal this in?" And she was like, "Oh, I got it." Yeah. So I said, "So now when you go back to work, you're going to be able to see things differently than the way you did yesterday."
And that's the amazing thing about it. The way in which we paint pictures for the audience to interpret is really the key.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's really the key. Because some people, they paint complex pictures and you're standing there going, "Okay, what is that?"
Yeah, I'm trying to tie it in, right? And you can't. You got to make it as simple as possible.
Exactly. And that's our responsibility as leaders to simplify the picture so they can interpret it well.
One of the things that I love about quotes, there's a quote that goes, "A teacher will tell you where to look, but not what to see."
That's right. That is true.
Right.
That is true.
And you have to do that. You have to help them see it through. And you have to be able to make sure that something triggers it when they're away from you. So, and generally they're always saying, "Can I take you to work with me? When I go to work, can you take me to work with you?" No, you're going to have to just absorb everything. And then now I can reinforce it with YouTube videos. And I actually use YouTube videos so that they'll know that it's okay. That you can go and see. So today I told them, I said, "So over the weekend, I won't see you guys till Wednesday. So go on YouTube and look for QuickBooks on how to process invoices and receive payments and reconcile bank statements and They're like, oh, okay, because sometimes they're more tactile. They need,
Right.
and our young people today are visual.
Yeah.
They can learn it if they can see it versus you tell. Because I can, and you got to be able to read. You know this when you're speaking, right?
Yeah,
and you know this if you are going and doing your whole teaching thing, and you look around and the faces are all like just shut down, then you got to do something.
Strategy.
Yeah, so that's why I use a lot of activities and exercises and practice sets,
Sure.
and then we just do the lesson going through the practice set as opposed to me just teaching it, because they'll never retain that.
Very good.
And it's just too fast. I mean, I'd have to have a 2-year program for them to really retain it and hear it every day. So I have to do it on a fast.
But you're out there doing it, and that's
Yeah.
the key, because that's just going to continue on. It's going to continue on, replicate even more, and then the community has changed.
Yeah.
Then the businesses have changed.
Yes.
So we all have to work together.
Right, exactly. I
So,
think
what type of upcoming events you got at the chamber over the next 10 months?
That's still under revision, only because the first thing that I want to do is get that survey out into the hands of the members, the existing members right now. Yes, I have some things, some seminars and things that we're going to be working with, but I want to hear from them, because I want them to have ownership of that chamber. It's their chamber.
Right.
We don't have the right to sit as an austere group
Right.
around the table as a board of directors or something like that to say, you need to do this, you need to do this. Yeah, there are some things out there, but if they can identify some things they need as businesses, I think we'll be really true to thyself.
Well, one of the things that Crystal and I, and I'm committing Crystal right now, she doesn't have a say in this.
okay.
One of the things that Crystal and I would really love is, after you've done that survey, is for us to help you analyze the data.
Absolutely.
And then we can put together some training classes to start helping those folks.
That's
You
powerful.
see what I mean?
Absolutely.
I think that would be phenomenal. And partnering with the chamber and providing some of this training session will really help to start elevating the process. And what also I'd love for us to do after we've done that is to start talking to Metro. I'd like us to talk to Metro, all three of us, about how we can pool what they have available for small businesses and what they're thinking about with the chamber and with broadcast.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
To get that information out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that would be
Yes.
fantastic, because they have the
Quid pro quo.
Yes.
and they have those screens on buses
buses
and
and
trains.
Yes.
So even if we were doing small little clippets for,
Yes.
especially the train that's going back and forth downtown,
Yes.
small business areas, and when you start going south, most of those are business owners.
Right.
They're going to be business owners, so that would be good. And you can reach that millennial.
Yes.
And get them engaged to become.
Got to include them in, because
Yeah.
we can't overlook them anymore.
Right.
One of the things that I found, if you take the train from, say, right down on Crenshaw, and you go to Santa Monica. Now, I worked on that line as well with Bernard Park's Urban Design Committee.
Right.
We
Is that
designed
the
trees.
exposition?
Yeah, the expo
Right,
line.
okay.
We designed the trees, the bridges, and the whole ball of wax. When
Weren't you working on the
Yeah,
Metro train
I
over here?
oversaw that project.
Yeah, it's powerful. When you get to Santa Monica, it's like, oh my gosh. Talk about.
Totally different world.
And Santa Monica used to be kind of like a ghetto
Yeah.
long years ago.
Yeah.
But when that train pulls in, it's like you're right there at the shops. You're
Yeah.
right there at the pier.
Yeah.
You're right there at restaurants.
Yeah.
Then go down the promenade. You can spend as much time as you want.
Right.
And now that I'm a senior,
Yeah.
You get your discount.
35 cents one way.
That's right.
But it just totally transformed that community.
It
The
does.
same thing can happen here.
Wanted to do on the flip side. That's exactly it. And that's part of the conversation we
Right.
want to have with Metro.
Right.
I think the CEO is Philip Washington.
Uh-huh.
So we want to have that kind of discussion on
Absolutely.
the flip side with him.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Right. In fact, because I think Sharon Evans had a event at the at the chamber. I was there, and it was talking about post construction.
Right.
So getting people geared to strategizing, and I think that we just really need. So when we send out your survey, finding out how to help them strategize. And we need to start that now because we still got about another year on the train.
Yeah.
So we need to start having workshops on strategizing. How are you changing how you do your business? And because that was some of the problems when we went out to do the visitation to the existing businesses,
Right.
and they had no access to websites or what have you. And now that's what Ken Hicks is doing over at with the project that they were doing.
Yeah.
So now they've given them they've developed websites for them. You're developing websites for them,
Yeah.
but are we capturing the data? Are we maintaining CMS systems, client management systems, and reaching out? Most of them are not on Facebook,
Right.
and nor LinkedIn or Instagram. So we need to get them engaging so that people we don't want to wait till the train is here.
Yeah.
We want to get them ready now so that they can see what else kind of business can I be doing.
Yeah.
I was thinking about the train running down the aorta, which is Crenshaw.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to drive to the game and get into all that traffic, you can stop off at Buffalo Wild Wings, get your grub on, get your drink on, and not be a drunk driver going between here and Inglewood.
That's right.
You can go to the game, come back. You got to pick up your car, so maybe you can go have some more food to eat and back and forth. And so the possibilities are endless.
Oh, yes.
But we got to help them see it because they're
We
not
got to help
seeing
them
it.
see
Yeah.
it. But the other thing that I see with the Baldwin Hills Crenshaw Plaza, if you haven't seen any of the artist renderings,
I have.
and that's going to be powerful. But I remember this like it was yesterday. Sheila E., with those outdoor concerts, came and played with her father. They had 4,000 people out there. It was unbelievable.
Wow.
And this is like right in our community.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay all this money and things. And they just had a ball. We had a ball. And then you can go to the movies afterwards, you
Yeah.
know?
Right, exactly. It'd be the outdoor like they did in South Bay with the way they I'm sure that's the way they are envisioning it because that's kind of what's being duplicated all over the city.
Well,
So
that's the kind of thing we're expecting to see us do this year with your chamber.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
That's
that
the
we
kind
can
of
get
thing.
our people
We're in.
ready.
Yeah.
We're
yeah,
in.
so that we can really bring them useful stuff. But I do know, like Gilbert just said, and that was a great way to put it, is helping paint a picture so that they can see where they fit in it. Because right now everybody's like, okay, they don't even want us here,
Right.
but they're not looking at how the opportunities. And I know when Angela was here, Angela had a list here for the next 20 years of all of the money,
Projects,
and she was saying over $70 billion or something of
There's
that
a
thing.
lot of money
But you got
coming
the
down the pipe.
Olympics coming here in 2024. We need people to be thinking, how you going to make, because that's quick gig money, right? How you going to be prepared and be able to sell whatever it is in that 3-week period and be able to be beneficial and walk away going, okay, now I can take that money and invest it in something else.
Yeah.
My wife is a tour guide now, among other things. She went to Dorsey High School. She's African American, and she speaks French fluently.
Okay.
So when we travel to France, everything has its own fiefdom. You know, the Ethiopians come down and they have an 8x10 blanket, and so they're not supposed to be selling down there, but they'll open that thing up and put out little trinkets and this, that, and the other. And then when the popo comes around, they can pull one string, put it over the thing, and they'll be gone with the wind. So we don't have to do that. We can have businesses, open markets. We can have so many wonderful things to highlight the importance of this community. Now, I don't know if you had anybody on from Kaiser yet.
We had Dr.
you
Emil
did.
on.
Okay.
We had Dr. Eric Emil.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was on. In fact, the two people that really got three now with you was Dr. Emil, three, Angela Gibson, and Victor Parker.
Victor Parker
Victor
from the
Parker said,
SBA.
"Can I just come every Friday afternoon and just hang out?"
He just want to hang
like
out with
this.
us.
Yeah. Well, I've known you for some time, and you just stepping into your purpose.
Yeah.
Your purpose.
Yeah, I think
Your
I am.
purpose, because this is a great way to reach people. It's the new wave, and it's powerful because people can take it, and they can take what they want and run with it, and do some different things. But if nothing else, if you all just decided to go ahead and give people lessons on Facebook Live.
Yeah.
I think that would be
Well, that's what we're planning on doing.
Yeah.
It's part of
Studio
our
training.
It's
Yes.
part of our plan for 2018 and beyond. So
And Felicia, she actually has a series of podcast training classes here.
Okay.
And it's for small businesses
Yes.
so that they can come out and think about a show and be able to utilize that as a marketing strategy for their businesses. So
Sure.
I think she had a really good turnout in December. And
Okay.
she'll be doing, I think she's going to do it every month or every other month.
Excellent.
But one of the things we're going to do for her, so now you see her beautiful studio, and this was the recipient of a Wells Fargo grant that she received. And so she's going to be having her open house. She never has had one since she's been here. She's been
it's
here
going to have one real soon.
So we want to help her fill this place.
Okay.
And we want to utilize all our resources
Yes.
to make sure we bring in the political, the political people,
City
the
council,
city
all of that.
council,
Sure. Yeah.
Metro, all the individuals, and to help her, and the bankers to help her grow her business.
And I think Eric would be a great person because he gets it. Eric Garcetti.
Yeah.
And to help him talk about some of the initiatives, Harris, with regards to our council member close by, had a big issue with the liquor bank and all the things that went along with that.
Yeah.
But people need to understand the breadth and the width of a problem rather than
Yeah.
say, what are they doing? What
Yeah.
are they doing? They need to understand
Right.
and have a way to embrace what's going on, participate in what's going on,
Right.
and really make some things happen in our
Right.
community. Because I tell people, when you remember back when Central Avenue was the heyday and a lot of things happening, if you go about 4 blocks this way and about 8 blocks this way, and then north and south, this is the last bastion for African Americans in this area.
Yes, that's true.
Yes.
And if we lose this and we don't pay attention to it, if we lose housing because people come in and buy things up, we need to think about those things differently.
Yes.
So that we can work together, we can play together, we can celebrate together.
Right.
And you guys are right in the middle of that.
Thank
so.
you.
And if you could help us get Eric on the show, I'd love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That
So
would be
yeah,
great.
we do that, and then I think we need to get somebody from Metro on the
Yes,
show,
yes.
Absolutely.
because
Yeah,
again,
we're going to work on that.
our goal is that you're hearing the information straight from the people, not a rumor.
Right.
Yeah.
Not something that you heard through 5 different
Yeah.
conversations,
That's
like the telephone, the can and the string.
But you know, I don't want to go here, but I just can't help something I heard on the TV this morning. It's kind of like 45 said all these things, and then he came back and said, "I didn't say
The
that."
opposite.
Right, exactly.
The opposite.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is the era of TV, and people record and
You know, the way I look at that, it was a waste of space, breath, and time for me.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you guys look at it this way, but this is how I look at it. I'm over 40. I'm over 50. So my time is limited. I don't have time to do any reruns. So anything that was said before and now you're denying it, to me, it's a waste of my time, because now I have to sit through maybe 15 minutes before now another 15 minutes when I could be doing something else. So it's unbelievable.
And I like that. So that's your pet peeve. Mine is he gonna go back. He lies like he speaks.
Yeah.
So if there was a DTM for liars,
Yeah.
boy, that man would be right there and be crown jewel. But I like it when his supporters
Yeah.
or his speakers for him are coming out and telling you, no, that's not what he said.
Yeah.
Like, wow, I think I'm pretty darn intelligent. In fact, I don't even use fluoride, so I know all my brain power is working.
Yeah.
And you're going to tell me that's not what he said. So that reminds me, remember when Richard Pryor said, you didn't see, that wasn't me, you're seeing your husband have an affair.
Yeah.
That wasn't me.
You're going to believe me or your lying eyes?
Your lying eyes. That wasn't Richard Pryor, it was Eddie Murphy, right?
Murphy,
yeah, that wasn't me.
So we have about 3 minutes left. Is there anything else you want to share with our audience to let them know about the chamber and what you've got going for them, what great plans you have?
one of the things I want to do is wish both of you a happy new year.
Thank you.
And continue to do what you're doing. It's powerful beyond measure. You're touching hearts, you're touching lives, and I think the best is yet to come.
Thank you.
To your audience, I would just remind you, if you want to get in contact with us, you can go to www.crenshawchamber.com. Our phone number is 323-293-2900. You can text me directly at 323-896-2469 or leave a message on the answer machine. That's my cell phone number. But it was a pleasure being here. I feel just touched by you having me here.
Thank
and
you.
our relationship is just going to grow and grow with great depth.
And I have a great compliment for you. Love your website. Website is really nice, very clean.
Thank you.
Well put together. So I'm loving. This is easy to navigate through.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
very, very nice.
Really.
This is your second. It's a third revision, right?
I think this is the third. I brought the company to Los Angeles here for that initial website.
Yeah.
We had advertisement from businesses and things like that.
Yeah.
We can put videos on there, and it's powerful.
Yeah,
So-
I'm
it's
loving
beautiful.
the look.
Yeah.
It's so simple and easy to navigate.
Okay, good.
Just roll
Thank
down.
you.
We like that. And I want to congratulate you on stepping back in and sizing up with your boy over there. And I can see the chamber. I mean, and the chamber has grown. It has, you know,
Yes.
just the caliber of what you guys have been doing over the last 4 or 5 years is just amazing. And I want to wish you continued success and wherever RBD, Mike Jones for president from Carolyn, Chris for president, and Gilbert for president. So I guess we're going to be the
That's all right.
presidents.
I'll be the vice president.
I'll be Secretary of State. I got some things I got to work out here. Keep us from blowing up here. You know?
So thank you, Carolyn, for your vote of confidence for us.
Thank you. Thank you.
But I want to, so however we're there, and we've been talking about this from our Recycle Black Dollars, however we can keep ourselves prevalent in our communities, we are there for you.
Yes.
And one of the things I would love to have you both do is come out and be a speaker for us.
Oh, great.
To basically show people how this medium can help to grow their business.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be
Help
happy
them
to.
and you guys can chart the waters for them.
Yes.
We can help the business here as well, and just really make it happen, because this is the kind of like the new internet.
Oh, this is the new business card.
Yeah.
This is
Yes,
the new.
it is.
You don't even have to have a brochure.
Right.
Just
Right.
tune in. You want to find me?
Yeah.
Go on YouTube.
That's it.
And then you have all the social media outlets, and now you're really utilizing your
Yes.
social media outlets. So
Yes.
yes, we would love to be able to do that.
So
Consider
thank
it
you,
done.
sir. Appreciate it. Thank
Consider
you.
it done.
Thank you for coming to the Business Zone, and this has been wonderful. Now, Crystal, do you have anything you want to tell the audience before we go here in the next 30 seconds?
Let's see. We got some wonderful workshops and seminars coming up in February and onward.
Yeah.
We're going to continue on to do our mastermind group, and then so stay tuned. Go to RBD Recycling Black Dollars website. Go to the Business Zone website. Tune in to us every Friday afternoon from 3 to 5. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way you will get notification every time we're on the air, and then you'll get everything you need to hear and see right here on the Business Zone.
And all of you are listening right now, make sure that you're subscribing today. We really need you to subscribe so we can get more content and information out to you. And on Wednesday, January 17th, at 4 o'clock at the Urban League, we'll have our next leg of our mastermind class. This is on certification, hands-on. It's a one-pager, and we're going to help you guys. You're going to walk out of there with a certification application completed. All you have to do next day is put it in the mail, and you'll get approved by the city. I guarantee you it will be approved. If Crystal and I touch it, it will be approved. I'm telling you.
Guaranteed.
That's how we do. That's how we do. So please tune in. Stay in touch with us. Give us a call if you have any questions. We can take care of things. And our time is up.
Our time is up. So we will see you guys. Have a fantastic weekend. Have a wonderful Martin Luther King Day. Do something in your community that's memorable and in honor of being an African, a proud African and unapologetic Black person. Amen. And we will see
other minorities.
other minorities as well. And we will see you next Friday.
We're out.
As a small biz pro, so we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, so we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah. Crystal Mitchell, do you have my business plan? Just review the pages of my marketing plan. Crystal Mitchell, do you have my